Transurfer, and welcome to TransurfingTV. I am Renee Garcia, and this is my video on this being the best time of your life. I know a lot of people are super challenged by the times, and they're like, oh my God, what's happening and why are things going to hell in a handbasket, and what am I gonna do, and where am I gonna go, or what's my new career path, or all this anxiety about the future, because we are in times that are in fact a-changing, and it can be super confusing. Where's my position in all this, right? And usually when we doubt our current standing, or we have anxiety about our future, or anxiety about our path, or thoughts of instability, we don't give the present moment much credit. In fact, usually what people do is they either give the past all the credit or the future all the credit. So usually it's something like, well, the past used to be so good. Remember the good old days, right? The old people that really believe that the days that are past were the best, and that the present moment now isn't nearly as good as those past days. And a lot of the people that are in like my generation, I feel, are really looking forward to the future, which is fine. It's totally acceptable to look forward to the future, but not if you are neglecting the present moment for what it contains right now, and living in the present moment with contentment and happiness and wonder and a feeling of life being magical, or life being the best that it can be right now. Because remember, the future never actually gets here. We are always just living in the present. So if you get into the habit of always looking forward to the future, you will never enjoy the present moment, because you will never actually reach the future. So feeling as though you have exactly what you need to have right now in this moment is where I'm going to focus on in this video. But remember, if you have not yet won some stickers, please like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me to enter my daily giveaway for some of my awesome reprogramming stickers. So this is the best time of your life. How can you plant your feet firmly on the ground right now, and with certainty and happiness declare this the best moment of your life? Well, a lot of it has to come down to seeing the advantage in absolutely everything. This is the key. I'm going to give you 3 of my top tricks for feeling as though everything is exactly the way that it should be right now. And it starts with advantage, okay? All of the good stuff that's happening for me, like if I sell a house, or I sell a piece of jewelry and I make some money, or I get to go on an adventure, or I get on the scale and, oh wow, I've been working out every day and I lost a couple pounds. That feels really great. So obviously all that stuff can help me to feel as though in this moment reality is exactly what I want it to be. But then there are the barbs, right? There are the prickly things like my sister has cancer, or COVID is messing me up. I'm tired of being inside. I'm tired of not having all the things that I like to do available to me. Or whatever it is that I feel is a prickly part of my reality. I always, always, always come back to the advantage. If I want to truly feel as though absolutely everything in this present moment is exactly the way it needs to be, this is really a non-dualistic perspective of viewing reality, right? That you take everything that's good, but then everything that your pre-transurfing mind may have perceived as not good gets inverted and flipped upside down, and if it's not easily thrown into the good pile, extract the advantage, right? So what's the advantage of my sister having cancer? Well, I've grown a lot closer to her. I've also proven to myself that I can show up for somebody in a very, very difficult time. In addition, her girls have me as their aunt, right? So that's a really big advantage, and I'm here and I'm available. So I focus on that aspect of that event rather than the part that is a real challenge, which is my sister is struggling with very serious cancer right now. So if I'm not making money, if COVID's got me all locked up, how can I extract the advantage there to feel as though I am at least gaining a lesson in that moment from that particular event? Okay, so advantage is clear. The second one that really helps me to feel as though I'm not looking too much forward to the future and really just embracing what reality is bringing to me in the moment is the alternatives flow. So the cool thing about the alternatives flow is that I trust my world, right? As my stickers say, my world is taking care of me, everything is going according to plan, and things are working out beautifully and will continue to do so with ease. And there is a reason why, there are surfers, and it's transurfing, and it's waves, and it's getting up on a wave that will ultimately sort of decline, right? But we know that it all has to do with the flow. So the flow is great, and it helps me to stay grounded in this present moment with contentment and happiness because I trust the flow. Again, what comes to me that's obvious, that's good, I'm happy for. Anything else is either a lesson, something I need to experience, a stepping stone on the way to another path. Again, bring it back around to advantage and really just trust that everything, even if you can't see it in the present moment, that everything is coming to you exactly the way that it needs to come to you via the alternatives flow. And this is the beauty of reality transurfing. You don't need to doubt, you don't need to wonder, you don't need to look forward to your future hoping that things are going to work out. You trust and know that they are in fact going to work out, and the alternatives flow is always working in your favor. So the last point that I want to get to, and this is a leap for most people, and I'm actually going to make a video exclusively on this because this one is a challenge, and I've had a lot of people ask me questions about this specifically, and I've got a very, very easy answer. So I've had people ask me why they can't trust their world entirely, why there's always a shred of doubt, or that there is question that things are working out in your favor. So my third point here is obviously trusting your world. This is a little bit different than the alternatives flow because the alternatives flow is what brings in the information, material, evidence, opportunities, events, people, all that stuff. but your world is really what is just your platform. It's what embraces you daily. It is your inner observer, right? It is your connection with the alternative space in a way that your world is embracing to you and there for you in for all of your needs. Now, again, a lot of people ask me, why can't I fully trust my world? Why is my mind always returning back to a place of doubt or questioning? And what I have to say about it is this. If you have two options, one is to trust your world, and one is to not trust your world, or your intention, or your choice, or your path, or that door, or whatever it is. Let's just say anything that has to do with trusting your journey in this moment. And you have two options. You can either trust, or you can not trust or doubt, okay? And those are your only two options. What if you can't wrap your head around trusting, okay, and you continue to fall back onto doubt? Did I choose the right goal? Is this my path? Am I with the right person? Whatever it is, what does it hurt you to totally buy into trust? So this is where a deep, deep, deep faith comes in that your world is taking care of you. If you cannot wrap your head around, all it is a decision in your mind. That's all it is. Your world is never going to show you 100% that what it is that you chose, whatever it is you chose, is totally right. Because remember, transurfing is kind of a non-dualistic modality where there's not a lot of right and wrong. It's simply what you're choosing. So if you believe that that choice is right and you decide to buy into it 100%, then your world is going to make that right for you in whatever way. Either you become successful in it, or you have challenges, you don't achieve what it is that you're looking to achieve. And then if that's the case, you cycle back around to the advantage, right? You can always come back to the advantage. But again, trusting your world or mistrusting your world, or your choice, or your trajectory, or whatever it is, all it comes down to is just that, a choice. Nobody is going to ever come to you and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that you hit it. You got it 100% right, and your choice was perfect, and your world's going to show you exactly how it is perfect now. If this makes sense, and I know this is a little bit lofty, but trusting your world is simply you trusting your world. You not trusting your world is simply you not trusting your world. Nobody's ever going to present to you material, information, evidence that's going to back it up 100%. It boils down to your ability to have faith and trust that your world is in fact taking care of you. So this is how I stay resonating with the idea that this is now the time of my life. Not something in my past, not something in my future. Advantage, advantage, advantage. Staying dialed into the alternatives flow and trusting my world helps me to ground myself in the belief that this is in fact the best time of my life. And if I do that, then my world will provide to me more information, material, and evidence to support this belief rather than another belief, which is obviously the antithesis of reality transurfing, and that is that the past was better, or the future is going to be better, or my world's not taking care of me, or something else that simply does not help you create your own reality today. So let me know your thoughts. Like this video if you do in fact like it, and remember to comment below, my world is taking care of me, to enter my daily giveaway. And thank you so much for watching my video, everyone. Bye.